Here we will be learning about the different types of RNA, and there are many types. Like there is transfer messenger RNA, tmRNA we call it. There is dsRNA, double stranded RNA. There is also regulatory RNA. There can be also this snRNA. So different types of RNAs are there, but the three major types of RNAs, they are mRNA, then rRNA, and then is tRNA. So messenger RNA, ribosomal RNA, transfer RNA. These are the three major types of RNA which is generally being studied. So first of all, mRNA. mRNA is basically 5% of the total RNA of the cell, and it carries complementary genetic code basically. So carries complementary genetic code. It carries this complementary genetic code so that the process of transcription may occur easily, and this genetic code is always triplet. So it helps in the process of transcription. And then the rRNA, it is around 80% of the RNA which is found inside the cell, and that is found in ribosomes. Ribosomes are also known as protein factories of the cell. And ribosome, they can be divided into two subunits. One is the large subunit, the other one is small subunit. Large subunit is generally 50S, which is having the larger RNA, and small subunit, which is 30S, is having the small RNA, rRNA. So since they act as since the ribosome, they act as the protein factories, so they help in the process of translation, from where in which the mRNA is being translated to the proteins. Then occurs then is the tRNA. You can see the structure here as well. So it is having clover leaf-like structure, and this tRNA, it consists of around 75 to 95 nucleotides. And it helps in transfer of the amino acids during the process of translation and transfer of amino acid during the process of translation, and it also acts as the adapter molecule because it helps in the process. So it is also known as the adapter molecule, right? So you can see the structure of mRNA here. This mRNA, this is the second one is rRNA, and you can see the largest subunit of the ribosome, which is generally 50S, and the smallest subunit is having 30S. So larger subunit is carrying the larger RNA, and small subunit is carrying the smaller one. And tRNA, here is the amino acid binding site, and this is the anticodon loop. Now moving to the next diagram. So here we can see the difference between the DNA and RNA. DNA is double stranded and RNA is generally single stranded. And in place of thymine is there, the nitrogenous base inside the DNA, but in case of RNA there is uracil. Now in the next diagram, let me open that. Okay, so here is the generalization. You can see there is a cell. Inside the cell there is a nucleus. Inside the nucleus there is a chromosome. This chromosome consists of DNA, and this DNA is having a gene. which is actually the segment of DNA. So this is how the genetic information is being studied. Moreover, you can see the structure. So here is the structure of a chromosome. First of all, you can see there is a right at the center, there is a constriction known as centromere. This centromere helps in the division of chromosome and divides the chromosome into two arms. So by convention, we take the shorter arm as P arm and the longer one arm as Q arm. If I open this arm or the chromatid, I will get the solenoid loops. So here the chromatin fiber has been opened up and you can see the loop of solenoid. And moreover, this structure is known as nucleosome. Nucleosome is basically the histone protein, which is basically positively charged protein because of the two different amino acids, lysine and arginine. Histone is positively charged, plus DNA is being negatively charged, it is being wrapped over it. So it forms the structure nucleosome, which looks like beads on string structure. So this is the structure of the nucleosome, and you can see the histone proteins over here, and DNA is being shown here, and you can see the unit gene, which will be which is actually the unit of inheritance. Now moving to the next diagram, here they have shown the diagram of a nucleosome. You can see the nucleosome is consisting of histone proteins, and there are 8 different histone proteins, so that forms the histone octamer. So I'll write it as octamer, just a minute, histone octamer. And you can see the blue color DNA is wrapped over it, since DNA is negatively charged. And I have already told you that histone proteins, they are the basic proteins because of the 2 amino acids. Let me write it here as well, basic protein histone, because of 2 amino acid, one is lysine, the other one is arginine. So these are found in the eukaryotic cell. And then here also there is one more term, which is telomere. So telomeres, they are basically the terminals of the chromosome. Terminals of chromosome. This is eukaryotic chromosome, and they are the terminals of the eukaryotic chromosome, right? And they prevent basically the end fusions, means they prevent the degradation, because they will guard against the aberrant chromosome rearrangement. So they will help, or they guard against the aberrant chromosomal rearrangements, so that proper coiling may occur, right? Moreover, you can see H1 histone here. This is also known as linker histone. It actually binds to the nucleosome core particle. You can see that it has bind to the nucleosome core particle right at the entry of the DNA here, and the DNA entry and exit sites you can see. So here it is being bound, and H1 histone joins with the linker DNA. So H1 histone plus linker DNA, they contains the target site. Now this is the target site for what? Let me just write it. Target site. This is the target site for the enzyme restriction endonuclease, or you can see this, you can say restriction enzyme. Restriction enzymes. So this H1 histone as well as the linker DNA, they are actually they form the target site for the restriction enzyme to act upon, right? So this is the structure of the nucleosome shown here.